Hello everyone and welcome back to Sterling TV 19 as we are back here for playoff time here at the Castle. First, we're going to be starting off with girls soccer as they get ready to take on the Pinelands Wildcats here on the turf field. Pretty chilly outside today, but it has warmed up as time has went on. 64 degrees, the wind's coming in at around 6 miles per hour, humidity at a 28%, and today's forecast is sunny. Taking a look at the Colonial Liberty Conference standings from this past year, Audubon took the win in the conference, 8-2 in the conference, 15-4 overall. Haddonfield 5-4-1 in the conference, 7-9-2 overall. West Deptford 4-3-3 in the conference, 11-4-4 overall. Sterling 4-4-2 in the conference, 8-7-2 overall. Haddon Township 4-5-1 in the conference, 10-6-2 overall. And then the Garnets at the bottom, 1-8-1 in the conference, 8-8-2 overall. So taking a look at Shore B South, the Point Pleasant Panthers, 7-1 in the conference, 13-6-1 overall. Lacey was 6-1 in the conference, 15-7-2 overall. Donovan Catholic was 6-2 in the conference, 14-4-1 overall. The Jackson Liberty was 4-3 in the conference, 9-8-0 overall. Then right there is the Riverlands Wildcats as they were 3-4 in the conference, 15-1 overall. And then the Barnegat High School was 2-5 in the conference, 8-10 overall. So taking a look at the bracket for the tournament this year for the playoffs, West Deptford has the bye as the 1 seed, and then it is Gloucester versus Middle Township, Seneca versus Overbrook, who Sterling would play if they win this and they advance on, they would play either Seneca or Overbrook. Sterling versus Pinelands, then it's Collingswood versus Lindenwold, Barnegat versus Pleasantville, and the rest, so on and so forth. The series notes since 2012, Sterling leads 1-0. Sterling outscoring opponents this year 31-25. Pinelands outscored by opponents 39-19. Sterling has won the only meeting in 2021. Pinelands has never beaten Sterling, and Sterling won the game in 2021 6-0. So taking a look at this season, I mean, Sterling having a great season all around. Montgomery Dram really taking the cake here with 39 points, 17 goals, 5 assists. Antonia Troilo under her, the senior, 17.7 goals, 17 assists. Then it's Adriana Zazada, 2 points and 1 goal. Lily Byrne, 5 points, 5 assists. Fallon Shinseki with 3 points, 1 goal, 1 assist. And the goalie, 200 saves in 17 games, Madison Sims. So a very impressive showing from the Lady Knights this year. So excited to watch them take on Pinelands this beautiful Monday afternoon. Some of the kids coming out of school to watch this game starting at approximately 2. So some of the kids aren't out of school yet. And we're glad to bring you this stream. I'm Danny Leakin, joined by Max Zubak. And I mean, Max, first playoff game of the year. High expectations for both of these teams. How are you feeling?
I mean, you got to be looking at it from a larger picture than just the seeding, because obviously the seeding kind of has them at a large gap. They're both in the playoffs. That means nothing seeding-wise. If you're in the playoffs, you've done something well enough to get there. You got to see every game as a challenge. And while Sterling, points-wise, the players have been looking better than the Pinelands players, that doesn't mean you overlook the Wildcats. You play them like any great team you would play throughout the regular season.
Yeah, and I mean, the Wildcats definitely having some good high-powered offense. Their leading scorer looks like it's going to be Lorelei Moulton, who has 4 goals and 8 points. Taking a look at the goalie, number 8, Madison Sims, number 00, Madison Sims, Just an absolutely ridiculous season from her, losing some of the, strong senior defenders that she had in front of her last year, coming into the season, getting 200 saves in 17 games. Crazy.
It's an incredible stat. I never thought I'd saw at any level of this sport. And yet here we are. 200 is a wild milestone to hit for anything. It could be over the whole career of saves, and that doesn't take super long depending on how many seasons, but this only happened 1 season.
Yeah.
And she's got a whole other year to go. She could still get greater in that position, which is a wild thought for me. Just seeing the development through the next year, it's going to be a wild ride.
Yeah, Madison Sims, 200 saves. Definitely has a couple good goal scorers on her hands today. Lorelei Mullen, as I mentioned, 4 goals, 8 points. And then Sarah Nuttall right under her, the senior, with 3 goals, 1 assist, 7 points. And we are underway here at the Castle on the turf. I'm Daniel Leakin, joined by Max Zubak. Happy to bring you guys the first playoff game of the season. Chilly winds bring this playoff game. And now an early advancement, but called off sides against Antonia Troilo. An early opportunity for Sterling, and they can't get anything going.
It's quite the obvious offside here. I mean, it's a good pass, but just is not there at all. I feel like the aim wasn't quite there, but still a solid attempt really early to continue to build off of that.
So a kick coming here from the Wildcats as they are trying to advance up the field. Sterling only having 1 injury today. Got to freshman Ava Bates, one of their attackers. She's out today with a foot injury on the sidelines. Montgomery Dram taking it up the field, cutting through to around the 30. She tries to get it in towards Tony Troilo. This one bounces back into the Wildcats defense, and they try and clear. But Sterling does a great job of using their midfield to their advantage and trying to hold the ball into the the offensive zone as much as they can. Montgomery Dram takes it away. Whistle blows. Looks like a foul called on Sterling, so it'll be a free kick here for Pinelands.
Sterling doing a great job bringing out pressure in the beginning, Dan. Putting a lot of pressure on them.
Yeah, great job by Sterling. Definitely applying, as Gogo said, the pressure to this defensive line. We are joined here by sports broadcasting student Anthony Gogolski.
How we doing? How we doing, Dan? How we doing?
Yeah, we're doing pretty good.
Glad to be here.
Gogo's been on broadcast a couple times, helping us with wrestling primarily, so it's great to have him here for soccer. It's the Wildcats trying to trickle in the Sterling defensive zone. Elise Simpson back in action here for the Knights. She gets toppled over. Foul called on the Wildcats as a little entanglement by Simpson and Nuttall. Or excuse me, that was Dillinger for the Wildcats. Gives Sterling that turnover. Definitely an aggressive play by Dillinger early on against Simpson. She was really trying to get the space advantage, but Simpson was doing a great job of, I guess you could say, boxing out.
Yeah, and I do think it was a bit unintentional. It was a fight for the ball, and the reach around ends up leading to some altercation there. Luckily, it looked like the cleat could have landed on the hand there. Luckily, it did not. Still rough entanglement to get into this early.
So Simpson was out the majority of last week with a knee injury, back in action today against the Wildcats. We see the brace on her right knee. Her and Dram didn't play much last week. Again, both out with a couple of injuries, but they're back in the lineup pretty obviously today for playoffs. Two of their key players throughout this year, Simpson and Dram, in their respective positions.
Zazada going to get that ball right back.
Yeah, Zazada feisty in the attacking zone. Definitely, I guess, shows her personality on the field quite well. As Dram pushes this one back to Shinseki. Shinseki trying to look for some open space, gets it up towards Troilo.
Good ball movement here.
Troilo trying to find Shinseki. Shinseki can't get to it, and that one trickles out of bounds. So now Pinelands will go and take it the other way. This is our first playoff game ever on the turf. So some pretty high stakes here for the girls soccer team, trying to be the first team to get a playoff win on the turf against the Wildcats today. Has controlled possession most of the time so far. Molly Hoffaker has it on that far side, trying to push up towards Taylor Baker. She gets bullied off the ball, and now Pinelands looking to go the other way. This one deflects off of Taylor. Pinelands looking here for a throw-in. Some of the kids pretty happy they can get out of class here and catch some girls soccer playoff ball.
We have a beautiful day here, Dan.
It's a beautiful day. Absolutely. Breeze was pretty chilly this morning. Sun has come out, shown itself. Perfect for game time here between these two teams. Dram looking to advance Troilo. Troilo gets a nice touch on the ball, and she's going to go the other way. Troilo. She has the wheel. She has the speed. Trying to push past this Pinelands defense. Gets it up towards Zazada. Zazada has Byrne to her side. Gets it over to Byrne. Byrne with the big opportunity here. She takes a shot. And it's in! Lily Byrne, the sophomore.
What a shot by Byrne. Way to finish there.
It's a wonderful approach by the Lady Knights to get there. And if we could see on the replay, he gets a bit entangled in the center, finds her on the side, barely onside, but still is. Wonderful shot to the side of the net there. Great play overall.
Just grazes right above the goalie's hand. What a ball.
And Byrne, with her first of the season, the sophomore, puts the burn on the Wildcats early in this game. A nice feed in the middle from Zazada, and Byrne, with an absolute strike, pushes her way past Baggett. And we are now in a 1-0 contest between the Knights and the Wildcats early on. What a start with about 4 minutes into this first half.
Beautiful ball movement, Dan. They had it in the middle there, found Lily Byrne on the outside, and just Byrne makes an amazing shot there right above the goalie to make it 1-0. Beautiful job. Well done.
Absolutely amazing job so far by the Knights. Now going the other way are the Wildcats. They try and push it in. That one advances out. So now Sterling here with a goal kick. And seriously, what an electric start in front of some of the kids here at Sterling. What a great start, and especially for the first goal of the season here for Lily Byrne.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's one of the most important times to start scoring, as you see here. She does it quite well. It gets to someone in the middle, can't quite go there. She finds Lily Byrne on the side. She takes a pretty narrow window to get the shot off, and it's a gorgeous one, putting them up 1-0 in the 4th minute. Great play overall.
Troilo looking to advance Byrne here, but as Byrne tries to push it forward past this Wildcats defense, they clear it out towards this back line. Simpson is going to be the first to play it. She gets a rough touch on the ball, but she gets it forward. Great play there by Simpson. Maybe a little impromptu, but it works.
Good pass from Simpson there.
Gets it up towards Troilo, and now Troilo with some open space. Sterling doing a great job of controlling possession until that moment. So we take another look at this goal, and what a pass by Zazada to find Byrne, as Byrne was in perfect position for that.
It's a play of tight windows, I felt like, that the pass to Byrne was not a great amount of space to get there, and then the narrow curve through behind the defender. I went Southern for a second. Behind the defender and the goalie. Wonderful play.
Rota gets physical in that back line. No call there from the ref. This looked a little late after the play, but nevertheless, great defensive play by Rota.
Might be just playing some advantage, waiting out till the play is fully done.
Yeah.
That's my hope anyway, because that seemed pretty blatant.
So now, back in action here are the Wildcats. They're trying to push forward. Hoffaker, the first defender to that far side, but now they keep advancing. Great play there by Hoffaker to push that one out of bounds.
Pinelands has been trying to get something going into the middle, but Sterling's doing a good job from when they have gotten to their half of the field to keep it out of bounds, pushing it outside. They've done a very good job on defense so far.
And Gogo, I know this is one of your first games here watching this girls' soccer team, but primarily they do play their games on the wings. They do a good job of keeping the traffic out of the middle. That's something that we've seen consistently throughout the season. And, I mean, on that goal, Max, you mentioned something about tight windows and great passing. Something that we've seen get so much better throughout the season for the Lady Knights is their chemistry. It was almost an entirely new team walking into this varsity season for a lot of these girls. But now this chemistry has gotten so tight, and it's really worked out in their favor.
Yeah, that's kind of what's inevitable year after year. And Pinelands can even, advocate for that, as they have so many freshmen and sophomores on their team. And I feel like the youth of both these programs has shown great sparks of chemistry with themselves as well as with the seniors and juniors on both teams, and I think it's provided them a really good season to get them going into the next year and to the playoff run here.
Yeah, you guys both touched on that amazing, because the core they build now with this young team, they can only go up from it. They can only gain and they can only improve, so that's really exciting for them.
And as Max mentioned, on the Pineland side of the ball, 16 total freshmen and sophomores on that roster. And, I mean, definitely impressive to see as we look at number 12, Madison Bush, one of those sophomores on the Pinelands roster. Here comes a free kick for the Wildcats. This one chipped a little low of the box. This one pushed forward, but Maddie Sims comes out of her crease and makes the nice collection.
You can't get a ball to dribble past Sims. Not now and not never. It's not going to happen. That header was a little too light for anything to get off of it. She didn't have much help on the shot. But talk about help, that's all Sterling gets to one another. The passes have been really kind of long throughout the start of this game, I feel like.
Simpson trying to push it towards the middle, towards Dram. Dram trying to dribble between the legs, can't get it. Pineland's doing a good job of neutralizing Dram so far, kind of applying the double team, which is really key when going against such a skilled one-on-one player such as Dram. Sims makes the collection, and she's going to scan the field, looking to kick this one away here for the Knights. 1-0 score so far in this one. Haven't even reached 2:30 yet, the official end of the school day. Lily Byrne putting the Lady Knights on the board early.
Sterling's definitely doing a good job starting off middle and dishing it out to the outside.
And now, Troilo, a bit of a 3-on-3 here. Tries to move it. Where's the defender? The foul called. Gogo was about to say, where's the foul? Definitely stopped himself in time. Nevertheless, foul was called, and now a big opportunity here for the Knights.
It's one of the most underrated things, because you see it a lot more in basketball than you do in soccer, and that's being able to draw fouls for your team to give you opportunities like here with a free kick, which we've seen both Sterling soccer teams on varsity do very well with the set pieces. I feel as though they need more opportunities like this, and they're getting them before the 10-minute mark. And this could lead to a 2-0 score here, because we know they have a pretty solid track record with these types of plays.
So
Tony Troilo, she had a wide open shot there. She didn't get fouled. She was right there. So that foul might have helped Pinelands out there, but we will see with this shot right here.
Yeah, well, we'll see if it helps Pinelands. Dram ready to take this one. Dram puts it on net, and that one goes through the uprights.
A la Jeremy Clark.
Yeah.
It's good.
Could have been 3, but it's nothing here on the soccer field. But a nice shot by Dram nevertheless. Had good power on it, just couldn't get it where she wanted. This game stays 1-0.
That's always the risk with power shots, no matter the distance from the net. Even if you're just on a run, you're trying to charge up for some power, it can be hard if it's on target, but if it's not, it's going to soar above.
So this kick a little low. Troilo plays it up to Dram. Dram having some room. Dram trying to put a shot on goal. She takes it.
It's good! Monty Dram!
Montgomery Dram, absolutely ridiculous start so far for the Knights, making this one 2-0 against the Wildcats. And this is something I don't even think we were expecting here so far in this game, as it's been total dominance by this Sterling offense.
What a way to start right there. Dram just piercing through the defense and then just takes the shot at the final second, crosses, perfect goal.
I know we had mentioned before how they were trying to shut down Dram pretty quickly with some double teaming defensive-wise, but we've seen it before with her. It doesn't matter how many defenders are there. She's going to get through the whole team and score. She's done it once and she does it again.
Dram with her 18th of the season. Her first 2 playoff points, but her total season points up to 41 in her junior season. A Monmouth commit going Division I for soccer. Definitely see why in that moment right there, as Dram advances this one up the field looking for Zazada. Zazada getting it over towards Troilo, but nicely intercepted there by the Wildcats defense. Trying to move up the field now are the Wildcats. It looks like that was number 9, Sarah Nuttall. This one kicked back to Revatus. Revatus seeing one of her first touches of the game. That one goes out of bounds. And just so impressive how Montgomery Dram can really weave her way through defenses. And we've seen it all season, and we see it once again.
She's very good at keeping herself level with the defense, I feel. And I think that's definitely a skill that she's honed throughout the years, and it's really come to fruition here.
So now, Troilo taking it up the other way, getting it up to Zazada. Zazada back to Troilo. Troilo with some open space. Troilo trying to beat both of the defenders. They make it back, and that's a nice play there by Ava Plant to get in front of Troilo and stop her forward momentum, as that was a dangerous play.
They got a throw in, however, which is, can be treated as a corner if used right, and they've been pretty dangerous on them before.
This one hit out towards Byrne. Zazada intercepts, gets it back towards Troilo. Troilo trying to move her way through a couple of defenders, and it's cleared away. Zora Nuttall trying to move her way forward, has Zazada pressuring her from behind. She has some great speed, trying to move it past Revatus. A nice play by Cami to kick that one out.
I feel like they've been very good at keeping the pace to theirs, Sterling has. They haven't really let the Wildcats let the game run at their speed. It's been all Sterling momentum throughout.
Yeah, Sterling doing a great job so far. 2-0 to score here in this first half. First goal scored by Lily Byrne, her first of the season. The sophomore had 5 assists, but yet to find a goal. What a better time than now. And then one of the usual suspects, Montgomery Dram, put the second on the board for the Knights. So a great start for the girls in this game so far, as that one trickles out of bounds in favor of the Knights.
Some great defense here by the Knights. Start pushing it to some nice offensive opportunities. Start this game here.
So now Dram moving her way, trying to put a shot on goal. This one trickles in between, and a nice collection there by Baggett.
A needed save for sure.
Yeah. She puts the ball in the bag. Makes a nice collection, but now Sterling looking to go the other way after a failed tap forward there by the Wildcats. This one kicked forward towards Byrne, and that one quickly cleared out by the Cats. A little bit of pressure on Rhoda, quickly cleared away. Pressure was applied by Isabella Cooper. One of these freshmen, another freshman for Pinelands, which we've mentioned so many times before. Such a young, raw, talented team, the Wildcats.
They kind of remind me of, just building on this youth. It feels as though they don't have, a ton of seniority on the team, so they're hoping all these freshmen will stick around throughout the years, and I think a playoff run definitely, or at least just a playoff appearance, is definitely something that can influence them to stay, as Sims doesn't let the ball go anywhere, which, common consensus, that tends to be a theme we see throughout these games.
So a shot by the senior, Gabby Laporto, saved easily by Sims, is now Sterling trying to advance the other way. This one kept in nicely by Pinelands, but the refs say that one went out on Dillinger. So now it'll be a throw in here for the Knights. So about 14 minutes into this first half, approximately. Sterling holding this 2-0 lead over the Wildcats. Happy to be out here on this Monday afternoon. The brisk fall air finally falling upon us after a pretty hot September, October for these girls. They get a pretty chilly one here this Monday, as we mentioned, around 63 degrees here at game time. Sun finally shining bright on the field, though, which is a pretty nice appearance for the turf to see its first playoff game. Now this will be a throw in here for the Knights as this one dribbles over Zazada. Hit back in by the Wildcats. Zazada getting possession once again. She's trying to advance Shinseki. It's a great pass by Zazada. Done a great job with passing all game so far. Shinseki dribbling it out to the outside, scanning the field. No one home. Shinseki still has it. No pressure being applied. She gets it in the middle for Troilo. Great pass there by Shinseki. Troilo trying to move her way around Plant. Plant definitely a freshman, but has the size advantage over Troilo, and Troilo has to knock that one away, but it hits off of a Wildcat, so it'll be a corner kick for the Knights.
You know, Plant seems pretty rooted in competitiveness. I feel like she's been very good, at least from what we've seen the first few minutes, at trying to make a lot of pressure and a lot of contest. Even if it doesn't work out, it really tries to delay the play, no matter the result, for Sterling.
So now, a couple substitutions for the Knights. Allison Brown, Paige Harmon, and Nora Radish coming in the game for the Knights, as here comes the free kick from Dram in the corner. This one taken to inside the box, dribbled around between a couple of the Knights. This one hit back in by Simpson. A big opportunity, but Troilo missed it. Cesada trying to keep it in, gets it back over towards Dram. Dram has the opportunity to cross it in, moves her way past the defender, trying to get it to the outside, and Troilo can't get to it. She hit it up in the air. This one about to be kept in by Simpson. A great job as she moves forward. It gets it over to Allison Brown. This one kicked for away. Still trying to dribble out. This one kept in by Zazada. Zazada back towards Dram. Dribbles past her foot. Approaching is Hoffaker. Getting it out to the outside is Nora Radish. Freshman to freshman connection here for the Knights. Hoffaker has it around the 35. Gets it up back towards Harmon. And Harmon regroups back to Rota. Revatus kicks it up towards Brown. Brown trying to get it towards the middle. This one goes back towards Simpson. Simpson uses her head, trying to get it towards Harmon. Popped up. Wildcats hit it back down. Harmon dribbling it out, gets it back towards Rhoda. Rhoda regrouping, one of the younger players on this team, only a sophomore, and playing this center back position. Hoffaker going to kick it up, trying to find Zazada on that far side. Zazada finds Radish, and now Radish trying to push forward. Radish gets it up towards Troilo. Troilo trying to maneuver her way towards the net, trying to put a shot. This one dribbles out. It's going to be yet another corner kick here for the Knights. Great offensive pressure here from the Lady Knights.
Yeah, and you know, the initial save to keep the attack on, however, I feel like it wasn't necessary because you could have just let it go. You've already had a lot of energy used on that attacking rush. Give yourself that breather and then try to overtake their throw-in play. But regardless, you kept it in and it gives you the corner.
So now the corner kick coming in here. This one gets into the box. It's almost in the goal. That one kept out and finally fell upon by Baggett. Oh my, that was a close one.
I mean, if we take a look here, it was really solid placement, just a little bit off, but still, it's practically in the net. It just gets booted out a little bit. The post definitely helps it out.
So now Sims coming out of her crease, plays it inside the box though. Smart decision by Maddie Sims.
The Sterling offense just keeps creating opportunities on the ball, with the defense helping them out.
The defense doing a great job of playing their part. Not a lot of pressure being put on the defense, which is the best part. Zazada dribbling into the box. Zazada taking a shot, and she scores! What a shot from Silly Zazada, putting Sterling up 3-0 over the Wildcats, and what a start for this high-powered offense.
I mean, this has been an incredible starting effort, as we see here. We get Troilo on one side, realizes she has a double team, can't quite get it, crosses it. Oh, well.
That's not the play there, Max.
I was very convinced it was. Regardless, replay correct or not, great play by the Knights to get, I mean, it was such an amazing goal as well. Really good ball placement towards the crossbar, but just underneath. Nice little chip-in type style thing there.
Zazada been ridiculous all day today in such a great amount of ways, whether it's score or passing. Her passing has been on point so far in this game so far, and Zazada gets one for herself in this game. One of the seniors on this Sterling team did a great job of just weaving her way through that Wildcats backfield.
Yeah, Dan couldn't draw up a better start here. The
Yeah.
Sterling offense just keeps getting opportunities, keeps putting the ball in net, and they're making the Pinelands defense pay.
Definitely. Couldn't have said it better myself. And I mean, Pinelands definitely looking to get something started on the offensive side of the zone. I mean, Sterling's defense hasn't had much to do in this game so far, but that's also credit to them as well, meaning they've done a really good job in this game so far, not having much work to do.
Yeah, having a quiet game on defense kind of means you're having a loud one.
Yeah. So now Dillinger throwing this one in. This one hit off of a Sterling player. It looked like it was Harmon.
Take a look at the goal. For real this time. It was straight run by Zazada. If we take a look here, it's nice, kind of just shovels it up top. Great technique on that shot. And a nice, comfortable lead continues to be patted on.
And I mean, the way I know Zazada's fast, but she really put on the burners for that one. Had no one next to her and just put it right past Baggett for that one. And I mean, just what a start for this Lady Knights team. Smiles all around as a substitution coming in for the Knights. Justice come in for Troilo. This one thrown in her direction. Revatus gets it back. Laporto lets it go out, and we're going to take another look at this goal one last time here from Zazada. Just a perfectly placed goal in that top corner. And I mean, Sterling doing a great job of keeping the offensive pressure up against this Wildcats defense.
I mean, you had mentioned the speed before. I'm going to kind of give you one of my favorite quotes to kind of describe it. It's that getting away from the cop speed, I feel like. Yeah. It's just so fast. You can't, it's a blur on the field. It leads to the ball just going straight in. 3-0. I feel, and now we're about unofficially halfway with another throw in here.
Yeah, it's going to be the homecoming queen going to be the one to throw it here for the Lady Knights, Cami Revatus. One of the seniors this year, our SGA president, our 2025 class president, or excuse me, class vice president. Does a lot around the castle. Very deserving of that homecoming queen. But now the Wildcats trying to take the crown away, and trying to move into the offensive zone. This one hit out by Hofficker, so the Wildcats going to have their first corner of the game. This one's going to be taken by Nuttall, one of the seniors here for the Wildcats.
This was one of the top performers for the Wildcats thus far.
She has 3 goals, 1 assist, and 7 points this season, so one of the better performers for the Wildcats. But nevertheless, she will not be taking it. It'll actually be Gabby Laporto here for the Wildcats. So now they're setting up. Right arm raises. She fires it in. A bit of a low-sailing shot. Gets to the front post, but nowhere else. And now Dram ready to take it the other way here for the Knights, using her blazing speed. Has Justice next to her. Justice trying to apply the pressure, but the Wildcats send it back in. Revatus doing a great job of pushing it back towards midfield. Radish also applying the pressure. She sends this one back towards Zazada. This one kicked ahead. Hoffaker has a rough time playing it. This one trickles towards the middle, and now the Wildcats looking to apply some offense, but no one home.
Sterling defense just not allowing anything right now. Trying to keep the ball outside the field. When they don't, the Pinelands offense doesn't really get much going anyways.
We call her the brick wall for a reason. And, I mean, the obviously 200 save stat does kind of help her out with that. But just the performance we've seen thus far, she has not felt uncomfortable in trying to press up on the ball and just kind of scoop it up. It's been a very good showing of confidence from Sims in this first round of the playoffs.
Well, I mean, Max, I can't lie. There hasn't been much she's had to be uncomfortable about in this game so far. I mean, Sterling's defense, again, as you mentioned, may be having a quiet game, but in a sense, it's also a loud game. But now Dram pushing up the field. Nice move on the defender. Dram ready to take a shot on net. This one trickles to the outside. Justice is there. So is Brown. This one gets over to the back post, and it's in! What a sequence of events. Finally capped off by the freshman, Nora Radish, getting her first of the season, making this game 4-0 in Sterling's favor.
I know we saw the initial meeting between these two some years ago, ended up being 6-0. It's 4-0, and we're barely over the halfway mark unofficially of this first half. How if you're Pinelands, do you bounce back from 4-0 down?
So Nora Radish getting the Knights on the board once again. What a sequence of events. A great little cross by Allison Brown to get it to that far post. And Nora Radish puts it past Kyrie Baggett. And now it is 4-0 in favor of Sterling. And now they're really pulling away in this one.
I mean, we see Allison Brown, who has had a pretty quietly solid season. And then it goes to Radish with a bit of a header there to get it in. Nice aim on the shot. Nice goal overall. Great sequence by the Lady Knights.
And Max, we mentioned this is how good it is for the Wildcats to get their feet wet in this game against Sterling and just really get their playoff experience under belt. This one crossed towards the middle, a big opportunity, and that one sails wide. Sura Nuttall, a big opportunity. She can't capitalize. This game stays 4-0.
It was a wide shot, but I also think it might have been offside there. I don't know if it was the official ruling, but that's what it kind of looked like from the angle we had. Take a look here. The ball kind of goes in a bit. Even still, it's a nicely aimed shot, just a little too wide, but shows promise that they can keep those types of plays up.
So as I mentioned, I mean, definitely great for the Wildcats to get some of their younger players and their feet wet, but same goes for the Lady Knights. A sophomore has scored in this game, and so has a freshman now after that Nora Radish goal, and I mean, really good sign for Coach K and the future of this program after such a great senior class is on their way out.
Yeah, it's good to know you have a reliable, group of more youthful players to be able to coach over the next few seasons. It's got to be a great sign. It's got to be all smiles management-wise for this Lady Knight squad.
So now Molly Hoffaker going one-on-one on the outside. This one played for her by Rhoda. Hit back in by Nuttall. This one chipped forward. Nicely placed by Nuttall. Now the Wildcats trying to go the other way. They're trying to chip it towards the middle. Nice play by Ravadis on Sino. It's going to be a throw in here for Pinelands. 4-0 in this game, just a little bit over halfway in this first half unofficially. Lily Byrne got the scoring started with a nice hit into the back of the net. Then it was Montgomery Dram absolutely weaving her way through the defense. And then after that, it was Adriana Zazada doing the same. And just recently, a few moments ago, Nora Radish got the Lady Knights on the board in this first half. And we're just a little over halfway. What an action-packed game it's been so far. Happy everyone's joined us here today. I'm Daniel Leakin, joined by Max Zubak. And just so much fun here on this Monday afternoon. Brisk fall weather has fallen upon us. Definitely a sign of playoff season. And in my opinion, sign of Christmas, but very debatable. Very debatable.
I wait till December 1st every time.
Ah, boo.
No, correct.
I don't agree. But nevertheless, we get going here. Turnover by Hoffaker. This one hit forward by the Knights. Harmon has it. She sends it forward looking for Zazada. A nice pass there by Harmon. Zazada looked like she wasn't ready for it, and this one hit out.
She might have just kind of accepted the possibility of the header blocking the pass, didn't commit to it, and it led to a possible missed opportunity that could have led to 5-0 before the 30-minute mark.
Sura Nuttall going around that sideline. Great play there by Montgomery Dran to be step and step with Nuttall. Now throw in here for the Wildcats. Early in this one, try and get inside the box, applying some pressure. This one's going to be a cross, looking for that far post, but now Maddie Sims makes the easy collection.
I mean, when isn't a collection easy for Maddie Sims, She's been very impressive throughout this year. She keeps piling onto that 200 save stat line in her 18th game of the season, first in the playoffs this year. She's already shown that she doesn't really have to do much to have a bit of a difference in the game.
So Sterling keeps this up in this first round matchup between the Lady Knights and the Pinelands Wildcats. They will go on to face either Overbrook or Seneca in the second round of this playoff tournament. So very excited to see where this one goes for the Lady Knights. Definitely a strong start in this playoff stand. Trying to keep this lead against the Wildcats and move on. But still a lot of time left in this game. So it's only the first half with about 26 minutes in, unofficially.
And the good thing about having such a large lead like 4-0 is that if they score once, well, it's a bit of a momentum swing. It isn't a crazy amount like if it was still only 2-0 or 1-0. It's good to value the padding that comes with a 4-0 lead.
100% agree with you there, Max, as Addie Myers sends this one forward looking for Justice. Justice trying to apply the pressure. This one hit out by Mullen. So Sterling will be getting a throw-in, getting out of their defensive zone after a little bit of pressure brought by the Wildcats. Hoffaker throws this one up towards Addie Myers. Myers looking in the middle for Justice. This one intercepted. Dram taking this one herself across that far sideline, and Dram moving with a ton of speed. Dram turbocharging in the middle, taking a shot, and that one goes wide.
I feel like that's been a pretty common theme for the Wildcats, not for the Knights thus far. But nonetheless, not every shot's going to be perfect. But still, doesn't mean that the momentum is kind of deteriorating. It just means they realize they don't have to put in too much effort to keep on scoring if they don't have to. They can wait a little bit and kind of be more leaned back, defensive. Park the bus would be the correct term. Just kind of play laid back. But still, they will attack as they are now.
Radish trying to get it up towards Addie Myers. This one played back into the Sterling defensive zone. Hoffaker trying to go step and step on that far side with Laporto, and she wins the battle. Still on that one-on-one on the far side. Ruling says it's hit out by Laporto. So Hoffaker is going to go get the ball that dribbled towards the cage. Definitely happy to get some cool air here in New Jersey. Feels good after, you know, as I mentioned, a pretty hot October or September. Finally getting some brisk air, especially in the morning this morning. Kind of hit me like it was an icicle in the face, but this one collected on the field. So game settling down now after Sterling scored 4 early goals. Result of great pressure into this Pinelands back line. This Pinelands, on the other hand, has not been able to really get anything started in this one.
Yeah, and you know, I feel like the Wildcats just haven't really gotten many opportunities outside of a couple to really show if they can score against a team like Sterling. There was one that went a little wide towards the top left corner that could have been offside but wasn't fully ruled. And then there was another that came off of, I believe, their corner that just couldn't really go anywhere. It's been a bit of a rough first half for Pineland on both sides of the ball.
So this one's sent forward. Zazada, or excuse me, that's Addie Myers over there to play it. Gets it a nice physical play against the defender. Looks like she's going against Dillinger. Let's take another look at the spill. Addie Myers definitely putting in the work against Dillinger. A little bit of a side difference and a bit of a hard fall on the track there. Track definitely not a comfortable landing spot. Nice play on that defensive side by Simpson, trying to push it forward towards Myers. Can't get it there. This one dribbled forward by Pinelands. Hit up by Revatus. Hit once again by Hoffaker. She looks like she's going to send it the other way. Advances Taylor Baker. Taylor Baker with those neon green cleats, brand new. See her from a mile away. Gets it over towards Azada and back to Baker. Baker trying to edge out the defender. She gets trapped in the middle of 2. Looks like Addie Myers there to support. Pineland's looking to clear this one away. Stopped by Zazada. Zazada gets it to Byrne. Byrne has a second to get it back towards Harmon. Harmon gets it back towards Shinseki. Shinseki been primarily in the defensive side of the ball in this game so far. And now looks like Nuttall's going to take it on this close sideline. Has Shinseki in her face. Nuttall definitely one of the better players on this Pineland team, as we mentioned, has 7 points on the season. Simpson skies this one towards the 50. This one kicked back by the Wildcats. Looks like Macau was the one to kick it. That one trickled out, so now Revatus is going to be the one to throw it in.
Revatus, we've seen throughout the season, kind of like how Gleam is for the boys varsity team, has been kind of the #1, you know, throw-in person for this squad, and I feel like it's kind of a privilege to be kind of trusted as the #1 throw-in person, and I definitely think he's done a very good job with throw-ins and the placement of them throughout the year.
So Simpson trying to get the ball going the other way. This one deflects off of a Wildcat. Byrne hits it with her head, trying to keep it in. Does. Great job by Byrne to play that one. Gets it up towards Troilo. Now Troilo has some open space. Troilo has to be one defender. Touches it a little too hard. The defender makes a nice play. Looks like that was number 18, Lorelei Mullen. Been one of the center backs in this game so far for the Knights. Makes a nice play on the senior, Tony Troilo. Now Dillinger trying to get something started, trying to kick it forward here for the Wildcats. Simpson runs back to play this one. She kicks this one out towards the 35 as Byrne plays it on a hop. Has defense on her back, and Shinseki sends it up. Troilo with a nice touch, trying to get it going the other way, but Mullen makes the smart play. A little bit of midfield battle in these past, I'd say, 5 to 10 minutes between these two teams. Not a lot of offensive pressure from either one. I'm sure that doesn't mind Sterling, though, or that doesn't bugs Sterling, though, knowing this big lead that they have.
Yeah, they don't tend to play in the middle, but it doesn't mean that they can't. It just isn't really part of their normal game plan. But when it kind of ends up getting integrated just by the flow of the game, it can end up working in their favor, because most teams, when watching the Lady Knights, see like, okay, they're going to want to use the wings, and then they attack from the middle and then get to the wing. It's kind of something you're caught off guard by, I feel like. We'd only seen it a few times being the middle and then branch out. It's been really just play off the branches and then try to get it into the net. So it's a good way to at least integrate the midfield, change up your play a bit when it matters most.
So now Troilo playing on a hop. Troilo trying to use her speed, get it around the defender. She sends this one up forward for Byrne. Byrne with another big opportunity, crossing it to that far post. Addie Myers going to beat out the defender. Myers gets it back towards Baker. Baker trying to win the one-on-one. Tries to put a slide tackle, but a nice play from the Wildcat on that far side, and she's trying to take it the other way. It looks like that is Dillinger. Dillinger pushing this one up towards Laporto. Laporto trying to get it going the other way. That one hit off of Simpson, so it'll be a throw-in.
If you take a look here, Troilo with a good pass up to Byrne, but the cross, no one was there at the other post for her. Myers just couldn't quite beat out the defender. It's definitely something that is unfortunate, but not the end of the world because of the lead they already have.
Yeah. So now it'll be a throw-in here for the Wildcats. A little bit over 5 minutes left to play here unofficially in this first half. Wildcats trying to get some pressure before the half ends. Can't get anything. Maddie Sims shuts that one down. Sims runs back towards the middle, ready to survey the field. Taking her time, she boots this one towards the Knight logo, dead center on the turf. This is the first playoff game being played on the turf, and I gotta say, Max, this is some pretty good voodoo to start.
Yeah, I definitely think it's a good first impression for the turf in playoff games.
The boys tomorrow is going to play on the grass. They prefer the grass over the turf, the spatial advantage that they get over their opponent. This one dribbled towards the middle. A big shot taken, but Sims easily collects that one. Sino trying to get a big opportunity for the Wildcats, but they cannot convert, and this game stays 4-0.
This felt like the first time Sims has really had to go out of her way while in the net to make a save today. It's been a lot of just approaching, rolling balls, getting them, and then kicking them right back out. I feel like, however, this late into the first half, if that can be something that Pineland integrates, kind of getting closer and shooting from some more range rather than just trying to get off of heads, kind of use yourself as the advantage and rather not try to make every single pass you possibly can. Use your own personal vision for a bit. Maybe it'll benefit the team. Get yourself a goal.
It's now Pineland's looking to send it up the field the other way. Harmon gets it back up towards Simpson. Simpson has some room. Simpson surveying the field. Gets a nice pass over towards Troilo. Troilo wrapping around, getting it back towards Zazada. Zazada has a creeping Simpson in the middle. Can't get the pass off. And this one trickles over to the keeper. Baggett definitely having a pretty interesting game against this Sterling offense. And I mean, the young freshman can only do so much against this insane Sterling offense. Now going the other way is the Pinelands offense, cut out by Simpson. Foul called, and Sterling will maintain possession.
I mean, it's been kind of the story of the game. Sterling has maintained possession a lot more than Pineland has been able to get to the ball for possession. And I feel like it's been a great advantage for the Lady Knights over the Wildcats throughout the day.
If you're the kids who just got home from school and you're just tuning in, Sterling in their round one matchup against the Pinelands Wildcats, holding this 4-0 lead. A high-powered offensive showing from the Lady Knights so far. I'm Daniel Leakin, joined by Max Zubak. Happy to be here on the turf on this beautiful Monday afternoon. And Pineland's trying to get some offensive pressure, but they really haven't been successful so far. Whistle blows, and it looks like a foul is going to be called on the Wildcats. Looks like that one is going to be on Gabby Laporto after the tackle against Cami Rivedas. So we're nearing the end of this first half. Sterling just absolutely dominant in this game. Goals scored by Lily Byrne, Montgomery Dram, Adriana Zazada, and Nora Radish in that order. Byrne was probably within the first 4 minutes of the game, and then every other goal came pretty soon after that. Sterling definitely playing a little bit more conservative ever since these 4 goals have gotten on the board, but definitely still applying a little bit of pressure. Sims with a pretty relaxed first half. Not a lot of pressure being brought by the Wildcats. This one's trickled out off of Leonardis. Shinseki ready to throw this one in here for the Knights. One of their pretty flexible players, or as Max would say, a flex player in the fantasy position, can play that defensive spot really well. Also really strong in the midfield. She was on the homecoming court along with Cami Rivadis, another soccer player that was featured. Nice play there to kick that one out by Sino. Troilo trying to trickle back into the offensive zone. This one cleared away by Mullen. Lily Byrne going to be the one to throw it here for the Lady Knights as she takes a step, throws it forward, looking for Troilo. It bounces back towards Byrne. Byrne trickling it towards Zazada. Zazada's pass does not get there. Harmon to Simpson. Simpson dribbling, trying to get it towards the middle where it looks like Troilo was trying to cut. Couldn't get it. Hoffaker gets ahead on this one, getting it forward towards Harmon. Harmon back to Simpson. Simpson over towards Byrne. Byrne can get the touch on it. That'll be a throw in here for the Wildcats.
I feel like that's been pretty common throughout this game as well. The Wildcats have been able to get throw-ins, but haven't been able to get much from them. And I think that's been their main issue, not taking advantages of these types of pauses in the game where you have a chance to get the ball to your team and then pursue. It's instead been get the ball to the teammate, it gets a rough touch, goes to Sterling, and has led to some goals, as we see right there.
So Shinseki trying to push this one forward. Zazada gets it over towards Troilo. Troilo can't get the right touch on it. This one played well by the defense. Troilo gets that pass pushed by her, and now Nuttall will regroup in the defensive zone, going one-on-one with Troilo. Troilo doing a great job of applying the pressure. Zazada to Troilo, back to Zazada. Zazada moving up the field, gets it back to Troilo. A little bit of give and go between the two of them. Cut off by Nuttall, and Nuttall with the nice clear up the field. The give and go senior connection, that chemistry being built throughout the years, but they cannot capitalize as Nuttall came back and made a great play.
The shot would have had to have been taken immediately when Troilo got the ball back. It just wasn't going to happen. There was a bit of a, an entanglement in the box, but it's still, regardless, a good attempt to just barely take it down.
So there's going to be a throw in here deep in their zone by the Lady Knights. Lily Byrne going to be the one to throw it. This one trickles past Troilo and kicked out by the Wildcats as they advance Dillinger. Dillinger turning, trying to go the other way. That one trickles out of bounds. Looks like Shinseki, it'll be Lily Byrne, the one to throw it in. So Troilo stumbles, and that one gets out of bounds as it looks like Wildcats are trying to push up the field with a little bit, or with minimal time left here in this first half. They kick it forward towards center field. Mervadis and Hoffaker are there. The whistle blows, and that'll be end for the first half. The Lady Knights are on fire, and your defense is terrified as we are going to come to close here on Channel 19. We'll be right back at you with some second half action after this commercial break. Hello everyone and welcome back to Sterling Channel 19 as we are back here for some second half action between the Sterling Silver Knights and the Pinelands Wildcats. And just a ridiculous game so far between these two teams. Sterling's offense red hot as we're going to take a look at some of the goals from that first half. 4 of them to show you guys today. And the first coming from Lily Byrne, her first of the season. A remarkable goal, a great pass from Zazada. And Byrne buries it in that back corner as we take another look at that same goal. Just the patience of Zazada to find Byrne and great off-ball movement to put that one in the back of the net. The next, scored by the one, the only, Montgomery Dram. Red hot, turn on the turbochargers and just put it right past. Baggett had no opportunity to get that one. The third taken by Zazada, and Zazada had green grass completely ahead of her and she buried it. And then the fourth, coming from Nora Radish, which is someone we don't see very often on the field, but Nora Radish buried it with a nice header, put it right past the goaltender as we are back here for some second half action between these two squads. First round of the playoffs. I'm Daniel Leakin, joined by Max Zubak here in the booth, and we're really happy to bring you guys this first playoff game on the turf in Sterling history. And I mean, what a great start it is.
Oh, I mean, this has been great. Yeah, I've loved calling it from up here. It's got to be a fun one for the girls to play as well, even though this pressure of playoffs, which I had mentioned before, as just you don't underestimate any opponent. Clearly they didn't, and they treated them like the challenge any playoff qualifying team should be, and ended up getting them a really nice, comfortable lead of 4-0 that they could still add on to in this second half if they really wanted to. And honestly, I think try to beat the record from last time. You played them in 2021, ended up winning 6-0. Try and even push that further. Make that your goal, because the win, as long as you play as well as you did the first half, is pretty much in the bag. I'm going to knock on wood because I know me. I'm the curse. So I'm going to...
As we take a look at the next TV game, it'll be Tuesday. It'll be the soccer playoffs. It's going to be boys soccer here on the grass. It'll be starting at 2 o'clock. It's going to be Sterling versus the team that knocked them out last year, Cedar Creek. That'll be live on Channel 19 and live on youtube.com/SterlingTV19.
But let's not know that that's the only game tomorrow. 4:30, there's volleyball as well.
Yep.
Girls volleyball playoffs. Going to be a couple of games, a doubleheader for us. Going to be a very fun day for the viewers, getting a lot of sports put to them. It's going to be a good time.
It is going to be a great time as we are now off here for some second half action. Sterling has this 4-0 lead over Pinelands. It's going to be important for them not to, I'm not going to say play down to their opponent, because Pinelands definitely a great team, but definitely make sure that they can maintain this big lead. As Dram cutting towards the middle, trying to weave her way past the defender. She does. She has some open space. She takes a shot, and that one hits the crossbar of the goalposts.
I mean...
So a single doink for there from Montgomery Dram.
I mean, we've seen some great plays from Dram before, and that was another pretty solid one. It just was a little too high, a little too much power, which we've seen before with Dram in this game, and now it's happened again power-wise. I feel like it's just a little bit more control on that, trying to find a way to get that to kind of dip shot-wise. It could get a bit of benefit, just a bit more technique on the shot.
So Montgomery Dram, one-on-one, trying to move her way past Nuttall. This one kicked towards the corner. So it'll be a corner kick coming here for the Lady Knights.
Another thing that we see pretty often, we do well for Sterling varsity soccer, boys and girls.
Yeah.
The corner kick. And I feel like, it's kind of become infamous, that and Sterling goalies stopping the shots. That's been the two things that we look out for, and we could possibly see it both happen.
So now Shinseki heading this one back in. Shinseki still trying to battle for that one. She kicks it towards the post, and it goes in! Fallon Shinseki, one of the seniors here for the Lady Knights. Maybe something that she didn't even see coming, but it trickles past Baggett, giving Sterling a 5-0 lead. Shinseki from outside gets that one in, and we're going to take a replay look at that.
We talked about volleyball real quick, and then it happened
What
again.
A crazy placement.
It just, it was a wonderful shot off the head there. It went back and forth, and then they go the length of the field to celebrate with the keeper Sims. Great shot by Shinseki here. Really good determination to keep it going. To get off the left foot.
Wow.
Or right foot, rather.
What
it goes bottom left corner.
What a play by Shinseki. Definitely something I don't even think she saw go in the back of the net. I was a little unsure myself. But Shinseki buries her second goal of the season. making this one 5-0 Lady Knights as they start to pull away from the Wildcats. The first goal here in this second half. The senior, who's been playing primarily the defensive role in this game, getting in on the fun on the offensive side, giving Sterling that 5-goal advantage. Hoffaker playing this one has to be careful. The charging attacker, they get it towards the middle where Brooke Rhoda resides. The Shinseki, the last goal scorer, chips it forward towards Troilo. A nice ball, and Troilo trying to beat out the defender. She gets another touch, and yet another one, and Troilo definitely pushing forward. Troilo trying to get in on the fun. She takes a shot on goal, and that one saved by Baggett. Had defender on her back. Looks like that one was Ava Plant. Plant definitely having the size advantage on that side of the field, and we're going to take another look at that Shinseki goal. Definitely a goal that I don't even think our cameraman saw coming there on the ground.
No, I mean, no one saw it coming. On the field, up here, probably even in the truck, no one saw that coming.
Yeah.
I feel like it's one of those moments that you look back on like, that was a great one to call. That was a great one to be there for.
Yeah.
Such a good goal. Great circumstances, great placement. Fallon Shinseki shows that she can do it all.
Yeah, Shinseki, again, primarily playing that defensive side today, but getting in on the action is Dram trying to get another one in the back of the net. Blocked there by Nuttall. Sora Nuttall definitely being one of the positive notes in this game so far for the Wildcats. Has done a good job of preventing Sterling from getting more than they already have. Dillinger also one of those players doing a great job, a name I've said a couple times, advancing on that far side. It looks like Sino can't get there in time. That ball trickles out. Hoffaker ready to throw this one in here for Taylor Baker. That one's out, so it's going to be Wildcats possession. We're going to take another look at that goal. Shinseki, remarkable job. It's going to be a throw in here for the Wildcats as this one trickles back over towards Hoffaker. Hoffaker is going to play it. Has a little bit of time trying to push it out towards Rhoda. Rhoda can't get there in time. That one hit out off of Sterling. So it's going to be Wildcats ball.
The Wildcats have had the ball a good amount of times throughout the game. The Wildcats have had the ball, but it's just not worked out off of these throw-ins, I feel like, and that's been the main issue. Maybe it'll work out this time, but no, it just meets Sterling once again and leads to another throw-in. I feel like they've been a bit of a loop with these throw-ins. It hasn't really gone anywhere.
So another throw-in here for the Wildcats as they try and get it inside the box. This one trickling towards Sims. Nicely played there by Simpson. Playing it on the line. Whistle blows. That one gets hit out, so it's going to be a corner kick here for the Wildcats. Another opportunity for them to get a goal on the board here in the second half, about 5 minutes in, unofficially, of course.
They've had a lot of early opportunities, but it just hasn't turned into anything just yet. It's very possible that this can finally be the one that puts Pinelands on the scoreboard, but you just never know. It feels like Sterling's really stepped up their game to prevent Pineland from getting, any intervention in this playoff run they want to have.
So that corner kick, a lot better place, but still nothing coming from it. Zazada trying to get to the ball. Can't. Looks like it's going to be a throw in here taken by Macau. Well played there by Dillinger, but she can't get another touch on it. Sterling takes it away. Pineland's playing a little bit of a midfield game now as they turn it over towards Shinseki. Shinseki with a nice chip up towards Troilo. Shinseki with a lot of great passes in this game. Byrne has it on that far side, hitting it up towards Troilo. Troilo in a leg race, trying to get to it first. Cut off there by Plant. Plant trying to work it forward. Plant gets it past Troilo. Plant has some green grass or green turf ahead of her, I guess. Hervedis sends this back the other way. Puts it right in the breadbasket for Troilo. This one hit off of Pinelands, so it's going to be a throw in here for the Lady Knights. Energy decreasing a little bit here as the score has increased.
Well, they don't need to keep super high energy when the score's so high. You don't want to use too much of the energy you've got in the tank. You want to preserve it for if goals get scored against you.
So now Dram ready to take a shot on goal. This one played well by Baggett, and she falls onto it. So Dram trying to get another goal on the board, but can't get it past the freshman keeper. This one played well by Dillinger. A bit of a spill between her and Baker, two of a bit of taller girls on the field in terms of the height advantage that we talk about. We take another look at that collision.
It was just a bit of a late entanglement with the left leg of Baker, but still both are all right.
Hoffaker kicks that one out. It's going to be another throw in here for the Wildcats. Whistle blows and a substitution coming in. And you can follow us on Instagram at SterlingTV19, where we have pictures of our beautiful faces here in the broadcast booth, things happening around Decker, and of course stuff happening around the castle. So make sure you guys go follow us on Instagram at SterlingTV19.
She's got a throw in here from Pinelands, and gets deflected by Dram. Dram takes the ball and gets a good run going. Can't quite get past a Pineland defender, and the attack is thwarted. And here comes Shinseki to Baker. And Taylor Baker with a bit of an approach gets a good throw into there, but still nothing. And now Dram gets the ball once again. The Monmouth commit tries to dribble her way through. Takes a bit of a stumble, but no penalty called as no contact was made. And the Wildcats get possession once again. It's a good stop there. Hoffaker, but then the Wildcats gets another opportunity. Cooper goes down the side, gets deflected by Hoffaker to keep it into another throw-in position here for the Wildcats.
And I mean, Nuttall, again, doing a great job of neutralizing Montgomery Dram. It's been kind of fun to watch them two go at it most of this game, and definitely something to look forward to as this game progresses on.
Yeah, you know, I feel like Nuttall has had a wonderful game thus far, but so have a lot of the leading nights. There's been a bit of an imbalance as to an overall team doing well and just a couple of players doing well, and I think that's been the key factor here. So another throw-in comes from the Sterling side. Intercepted by the Wildcats, but not for long. And now that defensive line for the Pinelands get to take over. They shoot it through. And a bit farther back, and they get another long pass going. Intercepted. That one by Rhoda. Now it goes up towards, that'll be Troilo. Has to pass back with some tight defending against her. It's back in the Pinelands' possession.
And I mean, just in case you're wondering there at home, normally we have, our two great drone operators, Casey Kazaneski and Johnny Orlino, operating our drone up in the air. But today, we cannot because it is not allowed during these playoff games by NJSIAA, I think it is. They do not allow flying the drone over these playoff games, so we are not allowed to use it, unfortunately. Those great angles we get from Mr. K's son, Casey Kazaneski, and our graphics guy in the truck, Johnny Orlino, can't find him today, unfortunately. Yeah, the coaches like it, the referees like it, we like it here in the booth for a lot of those replays that you guys see, but unfortunately not today. It's not as bad on this field, but it's tougher on the grass field because we're lower view. So we can't really get you guys the best angles sometimes as well.
However, that balances out because we're so much closer, we can see a little better with or without the drone on the grass from the commentary gantry. And that's a good deflection. There, I feel like this has been the major strength of Sterling, that defensive line. Even though the attacking has gotten them the goals they have, Pineland has not been able to do much because of the defense. They've been stuck with throw-in after throw-in, as another one's going to come in here around the corner post, but still not there. And as we've got Brady K running a mile.
Yeah, I mean, cross country, the pretty successful weekend this week. The girls placed second, and I think the sectionals, and so a great job there. The cross-country team taking such a massive jump throughout these years. Miss Coppolino, the girls' running coach, Mr. Howe taking over the boys, and I mean, just such a great team to watch and progress as the years have went on.
Yeah, obviously it's one of the most physically demanding, no matter how, little contact in comparison to some other sports are. It takes some of the most conditioning training, and I feel like, soccer is a similar way to that, as you need all the conditioning and stamina you can get in a sport like this, as well as the track sports and cross country. And I feel like they can relate in that sort of way. And that's why I feel like so many players get into there. But here's Troilo getting into the box. And sadly, deflection comes in from Pinelands. But doesn't mean it's cleared. Doesn't go much of anywhere, though. Good try by sophomore Lily Byrne to try and get the ball back. Doesn't go much of anywhere, and she'll be on the throw-in here. It'll go in right back to Troilo. Doesn't have much of anything going for her. Goal kick for these Wildcats. And I feel like the defense has been getting a lot better for this Wildcats team in the second half. They've been doing a lot better.
And you can follow us on Twitter or X at Sterling TV 19, as we will have live updates of all the sports happening around the castle, and of course all the fun activities as well. So make sure you guys go follow us on Twitter at Sterling TV 19.
As we take another look back into the action, Pinelands gets stopped there by Byrne. Now, a bit of a long shot comes in, but no one there to take it away. Troilo takes the advantage of the slip up, but still nothing. However, it'll result in the corner after the defensive efforts from Pinelands.
Last time Sterling had a corner, a Fallon Shinseki goal came from it, so it's going to be interesting to see what the Lady Knights do with this one.
Yeah, I think they've been very good at utilizing these opportunities, and they may as well do it again. They put a lot of effort into getting these. As the arm goes up, the ball goes in. A little far. No, but it's a goal! Seems as though that'll be Baker's goal. 6-0. They match the personal record against these Wildcats barely into the second half as we reach the 13th minute here. What a wonderful corner. Great distance from it, and a great shot coming off of it.
So Taylor Baker getting one in the back of the net for the Lady Knights, and just what a remarkable goal that was. I mean, great header. Baker, again, one of the taller girls on the field, using her size to her advantage, and just a remarkable job getting past Baggett in net. Getting her second of the season this year for the Lady Knights. The sophomore doing a great job. Can't miss her in those bright green cleats. And Sterling continues on with their pretty great game so far.
It's a la A.J. Brown. You use the cleats to identify the player.
Yeah, that's what I do. It does pay to be tall, and I mean, Taylor Baker, tremendous job on that corner kick.
I mean, Sterling just overall tremendous job at getting the ball to everybody. I don't think anyone's scored 2. Everyone's scored throughout 6. It's been 6 different players. Just look at the far corner and a wonderful angle off the header from Baker. That's another advantage of having height in this sport. You can get over keepers that aren't really in that height range. Like, obviously, Sims and Schmidt have been a bit of exceptions for us. They've had a bit of a height advantage, but this is going to be, Baggett doesn't have a crazy height advantage, and Baker knew that, got the header in, and had a great angle on that shot there.
And Max, you make a great point about the diversification in the scorers for the Lady Knights. That's something we don't see very often. A lot of the times it's a one-woman show, but it's been nice to see a couple of different scorers this time.
Yeah, I definitely think it's a lot better integrating more players than leaving one player to it, because as you can see, it kind of lets the attack vary, and Troilo can't quite get to the ball that time around. As we see another replay of this goal here one more time.
Just tremendous.
Yeah, wonderful angle from that.
It's been an offensive masterclass for the Lady Knights today, and it's been really fun to watch here in the booth. Just 6 different scores, 6 different fun moments, and I mean, from when Gogo was in the booth with us to now where it's just the 2 of us, it's been a pretty heck of a great time.
Yeah, I was worried that if those 2, Gogo and Gavin, had left and then we stopped scoring, we'd have to have someone calling them back in here. But clearly that was never, a necessity. These girls can do it all and have showcased that throughout this playoff opening game.
Thank you. Am I good?
Wonderful start for them.
So, score stays the same. We will have a post-game to follow. Myself. Barring a major collapse of epic proportions, this Lady Knights team has to hold on tight for the 6-goal advantage. And I will be wobbling onto the field and giving them a little post-game show, and the viewers at home as well.
Yeah, I don't think anybody should miss those post games. They've got some great questions asked by our very own Danny Leakin. Very good at the interviewing, and I'm excited to take some notes on it as I get to do it in the coming year. Yeah,
Max doing his first little play-by-play gig today. I'm giving it off to him for this half because there's not much I need to say anymore. I'm going to let the rookie get some reps in. So there's the field in the back for tomorrow. The Silver Knights will be going against Cedar Creek on that field. That game starting at approximately 2 o'clock, so we'll be back out on that field ready to cover that great game. You see some of the boys practicing on that far side.
It is a field of, it's a pretty wide field, I'd say. I think it's one of the better sized fields, if not the largest. If my memory serves me right, it is the largest field in varsity boys soccer. At least one of, at least top 3 at least. But anyways, as we get back into this, Shinseki takes the free kick, and it goes nowhere but to the keeper, the Pineland Wildcats. And as we see here, another good boot out from there, gets to midfield. Bit of physical play near midfield, ends up going nowhere, but a nice interception. And now it's been pretty back and forth in the middle as Dram tries to advance, doesn't go much of anywhere. And the Wildcats have possession again. And they shoot the ball out. And once again, stopped this time. Going to be, I couldn't see the number right.
It was Shinseki.
There it goes.
Yeah. Listen, that's something you'll get used to with time there.
Ooh.
Max. Physical play.
That's not something you can get used to if you're playing the game. Physical play there. Rough tackle. Not sure if the ball got any contact from the player there. Bit of desperation of a tackle against Allison Brown, as no, does not make any contact on the ball there. And I'm pretty sure a yellow card was awarded. If we take a look here, she comes in obviously going for the ball. There was no intent to get Brown here, and just pow! It's immediate hit there.
You see Shinseki throw her arms up in the back there too, definitely.
That's a deserved complaint.
Yeah. So Shinseki going to be the one to take it here for the Lady Knights. Started a play-by-play there. That's all you, Max.
No, you're all good. I understand it's your habit. It's your natural habitat. Speaking of which, there we go. Shinseki with another free kick. It's not quite cleared. Goes up, could be 7 if played right, but isn't quite there. And a nice save. As we see, it's been pretty low from the free kicks from Shinseki. Doesn't mean they're not getting the distance, it just means they're not super high up. And it results in a save by Baggett.
Baggett, the freshman goalkeeper for this Pinelands team, and definitely doing a pretty good job today. I mean, hasn't had a lot of help from her defensive line, and trying to stop this Sterling offense definitely has limited them to almost a lot more than 6 points.
Yeah, I definitely believe that that's been one of the major factors. Just that even though we like to praise that there are a lot of freshmen on these teams, just youth-wise, it gets you, a lot further program-wise. For this year, you still got to work out those kinks those first couple of years, and it definitely shows with the majority of this Pinelands roster. And we got a throw-in that results in an out, and now the Wildcats throw-in. They're playing a bit of back and forth on these throw-ins.
And you can subscribe to our YouTube channel at Sterling Channel 19, where we will have all the fun streams, all the fun commercials, and of course, most importantly, those Castle Connections featuring our very own Mr. Claiborne. So make sure you go subscribe at youtube.com/SterlingTV19.
And you also see some throw-ins that don't make it past the touchline. As Sterling gets another throw-in opportunity here. Goes over a defender, and that'll be Zasada. On the wing, doesn't go much of anywhere, but still a good shot contest. Nothing really clear out of the way yet. They're not quite out of the woods now. They're slowly getting out of there past midfield. And it goes out, back in Sterling's possession.
Something to mention, if Sterling hangs on to this one and takes the win over Pinelands, they will either go against Seneca or Overbrook in the Group 2 playoff bracket. Seneca has been a problem for the Lady Knights throughout the year. There's definitely an amazing soccer program ran over there. So it'll be important for the Lady Knights to push past this win and start focusing on next game, where it'll either be Seneca or Overbrook.
The thing with rivalries like that and teams that become an issue is that you got to think of it as their issues in the regular season. You get to the postseason, completely different field. You get a lot of different pressure as well gets added on. And pressure gets added on to Sterling here as the Wildcats get the ball back in their possession. It's a good move down the sideline. He gets interrupted by Allison Brown once again. Has to make a pass. Intercepted. And now a bit of an attacking rush, but isn't going to go much of anywhere as there's some pressing around the ball. But now Justice able to get the ball. And takes a bit of a tumble, and a whistle going to be blown. And a foul called. So take a look at the replay here. Karina Justice gains possession, and then a bit of a check there. No play on the ball. getting a little chippier out there by the second.
Yeah, I mean, Justice is definitely of a smaller stature, so a lot of these smaller forwards for the Lady Knights are getting a little bit of bully balled here late by the Wildcats. This one kicked forward by Shinseki. Oh, I did it again.
No, that's fine. Ooh, they almost did it again, making it goal 7. Doesn't
Wow.
quite get there.
What a save by Kyrie Baggett. Wow. Did you see that save there, Max? That was crazy.
Yeah, they're slowly improving in net as the game goes. It's a good save, and then the outside of the net does it for her.
Wow.
Take a look here as the line kind of breaks free with the ball. It's a good touch to try and stop it. Doesn't go much of anywhere. And then Zazada tries to get her second on the day. Can't quite get there. And then Radish tries to get her second on the day. Can't quite get there. And the corner comes in. Oh, not quite there, but still touched by the Wildcats. Look at another corner from the side that's given them 2 goals already. Can they get a third off of it? If I'm a betting man, I'd say probably.
First corner, I think, was foul on Shinseki, and then it was Taylor Baker on that far post who hit that one in. I think she's currently out of the game, just substitution-wise, so she's on the bench after scoring her second of the season. I can see the green cleats from here. It really is A.J. Brown paying homage to him, the way you can tell because of those bright pink cleats that he wears.
That's not a reasoning being so his daughter can see him, but I can see the arm raised by Shinseki going into this corner. Doesn't quite get to anybody in blue, and Pinelands gets the ball right back. Have a good contest, doesn't quite go anywhere. And they continue to play up the field. A long pass isn't going to go anywhere but beyond that yellow line and back into Sterling's hands. I feel like it's been really tough for the Wildcats to have coordination to keep those long passes consistently working out for them. And I think that's kind of led to this offense being a bit lackluster throughout the game as we, have gotten a few minutes past, at least unofficially, these, halfway of the second half. And they've gotten past the halfway point of this field here as they try to break 3 again. And the cross gets deflected. That'll be number 2, Brooke Rhoda. As you see here, it's a good effort and a bit of a tussle. And not really much of an extension. The leg just runs to the ball, but it leads to another Pineland corner. Let's see if they can do what Sterling has a couple of times off this type of play as they get ready to take this one.
And I mean, Sterling's defense having a really quiet day, but that's almost a good thing. When you have a quiet day on defense, it's almost a loud day, as you mentioned earlier, Max. And I definitely think that's been a big part of Sterling's successes here in this one.
And I think it's very much been a imbalance in the defense's efforts that has led to this. I feel like the defense having to have so much effort for the Pinelands side has led to the offense feeling a bit gassed, having to support that defense because they haven't been able to stop Sterling. And then when Sterling needs attacking help, the defensive line can push up into the middle and make some plays either assist-wise or goal-wise that we saw from Shinseki before. And I feel like that's been the major story throughout this game. And that's another whistle here. Could be a pen. As we see here, depends on if it's in the box or not.
I think it is.
And it...
Notice, they're going to the penalty
They're
spot
going
right now.
to take a penalty kick. We understand that this game probably wouldn't have resulted in that if the game were to continue to go, but we'll still get to see one here. This could be the first goal and possibly a start of a scoring spark if it is to make it here. It's a great opportunity for this Wildcat squad for sure.
And Rhoda, definitely a physical player for the Lady Knights, so someone who isn't afraid of any contact, getting that penalty outside the box, so definitely a learning moment for her as she goes on. Only a sophomore, Max, definitely playing that center back position to a T.
Yeah, she's definitely been very good in the effort department with that. As we see slowly getting ready to take it, this will be Sura Nuttall, a top performer for Pineland throughout this game and the season, as we await the shot to be taken. The whistle blows. Nuttall with the approach. And it's in at the top. Maddie Sims gets a hand on it, doesn't quite get there. Makes the score 6-1. And it's I don't know how important it will be at the final score, but it's definitely a bit of a momentum shifter to try and get something going here in the back half of the second half. Solid placement. It was guessed correctly, but just couldn't quite get the job done in the goal.
I mean, Sura Nuttall with her 4th goal of the season and her 9th point. Definitely one of the stronger parts of this Pinelands team. And Sims guessed right. She got a hand on it, but couldn't get the full thing. So it is 6-1 as we are just a little bit over the second half.
And, I mean, like we had mentioned many a time before, it's a matter of, the lead being some cushioning for the offense and defense to kind of play off of, as no foul's going to be called on that physical play because they got the ball there, and Justice makes a good effort to try and get the ball, but still it'll go out, and it'll be a Pinelands throw-in from deep in their own territory. They send it in. Allison Brown makes a good touch on it, tries to get it out, but it still goes back. Now Sterling gets it back, and that'll be Revatus with the ball, then Shinseki. And it slowly rolls to Karina Justice, who gets around the defender, but not before the ball goes past the line.
I mean, just, deviating away from the game a little bit, Eagles with a big win this weekend against the Jacksonville Jaguars, winning 28-23. Another questionable game by Nick Sirianni, but nevertheless, Jalen Hurts in the offense kept up. Saquon Barkley, 199 all-purpose yards. Jalen Hurts, 298 all-purpose yards and 3 touchdowns. And just a fun team to watch these past couple of weeks.
Saquon put it in reverse for a hurdle.
Oh, my God.
It was a wonderful play. That'll be in Madden in about 5 years because no mocap guy's going to be able to recreate it.
Yeah, a very fun game to watch. I mean, defense also coming up big. Nakobe Dean, someone I've loved ever since we drafted him, has been riddled with injuries throughout his career, getting his first career interception in the biggest moment of the game at the end. Zach Bond also with a ridiculous game with 10 tackles, had a sack, a pick. And, I mean, that linebacker duos, linebacker's been a huge problem for the Eagles as time has went on, but that duo has turned out to be a pretty good duo.
Yeah, we've tended to really miss the mark draft-wise for linebackers, but it seems Nakobe Dean was truly a grand slam thus far. He's made a really good impression these first couple of years on the roster. And to relate that back to the game in a way, so is Maddie Sims for her first 3 years here at Sterling.
Yeah.
I feel like two very good defensive threats, and obviously very different sports, but still, very different, same name.
A pretty accurate timeline for the both of them, too. Not necessarily in the injury part, but just in the experience part. And I think they both have done a great job, obviously, in their respective sports, but yes.
One's a great football player, one's a great football player.
Yeah.
Very different, but same, but different. And I feel like that's kind of been the story of the season thus far. They've both had very solid years separately, sports-wise.
Yeah, a great comparison, Max. And I mean, Madison Sims, 200 saves this season in 17 games, 11.8 saves on average. Can't even make those numbers up.
No. Well, I feel like it's the numbers you kind of make up to kind of make yourself look better, but she doesn't need that. She makes those numbers herself, and she keeps on adding on game after game. It's one of the most impressive stat lines we've seen, I feel like, through our years of watching these programs play soccer at the varsity level. And it's someone you get to go in realizing she still has more potential, as I had mentioned before. She still has more to unlock about her play style in the coming years. But you see a ref kind of chatting to Allison Brown, seeing what's going on there. Not sure exactly what the issue is, but it's going to be a substitution for Pinelands. Number 4 will come out, Isabella Cooper.
Pinelands was 3-12 and 1 overall this year, 3-4 in the division. Sterling 8-7-2 overall, 4-4-2 in the division. Definitely has their work cut out for them, though, depending on if they play Seneca or Overbrook. Nevertheless, two pretty good teams where they are really going to have to, I guess you could say, lock in and have to really play their best games. So here's where we are right now in that first round, Sterling versus Pinelands. And then if you look right above us, it's Seneca versus Overbrook.
That starts in a half hour.
Yeah, that does start in a half hour. And then beyond that, if Sterling gets past that second round, their most likely opponent will be West Deptford, a team where high-scoring affairs have really been the name of the game. Lost 3-2 away at West Deptford. And then on the girls' senior night, that 4-4 game where it was just back and forth. And we almost lost track here in the booth, and it was so crazy between those two teams. And that's the game we have on our hands if Sterling can push past that second round.
Well, let's also preface it as so long as West Deptford doesn't take that 1 seed as a bit too much of a confidence boost.
Sure.
Obviously, if you're the 1 seed, we've seen it happen before, a la San Francisco 49ers, the ego can get to you, and you end up underperforming in playoff runs, and it leaves other teams that window to make a huge run. I feel like they can't get too ahead of themselves. They have to play with confidence, but still with the realization they're not out of the woods just because they're the 1 seed. You get 1 game off, it doesn't mean you get the playoffs off.
Very true there, Max. And I mean, they definitely go against 2 pretty good teams if they get into that second round between Gloucester and Middle Township. 2 solid programs that have really built themselves up this year especially. And it's going to be interesting to see what West Deptford can do as time goes on.
Yeah, and as time has gone on in this game specifically, it's gotten more and more physical. I feel like at halftime there wasn't too many physical plays, a couple of slip-ups, but nothing intentional. There's been a couple practically hit sticks that we've seen on some of the smaller players on this Sterling roster, Allison Brown and Karina Justice. And I feel like Sterling has taken that as okay, we want to play a little rougher, let's play a little rougher. They're kind of matching the energy. But on the actual playing side, Pineland has not matched the energy of Sterling, I feel like, in the slightest, as they keep letting these balls kind of get slower, but still close to the net. That's not what you want to see, as Baker's back on the field. You see with the green cleats.
The green cleats, yeah.
Gets into not Troilo. I missed that.
Nora Rausch.
There was a shimmer on our monitor. I could not see very well. Then you've got on the wing there. Here we go. That's Byrne looking for his second goal. No Powell there. Tries to cross it in, doesn't quite get there. Nice header to try and stop, but still bouncing around in the box. Oh! Is that in?
Yeah, it's in.
It's in. Allison Brown, the 7th individual goal scorer for the Sterling Lady Knights here today. As we approach the 30th minute, it's a bit confusing for us in the box. We keep kind of losing track here. It was a good touch on the shoulder and then a left-footed shot on that left side. We've seen a lot of the left side be scored on both ends here, as we see the ball come in off of that header, and then Allison Brown finds a shot, and it goes right over top of the keeper. Great play by Allison Brown, someone who got a little roughed earlier on, and is now made up for it with a score of her own, 7-1, increasing the deficit back to a 6-point lead for the Silver Knights.
So a touchdown and a field goal for the Knights in this game. Allison Brown notching her first of the season. Makes it her 3rd point.
Which football are we watching here?
I know, right? Well, I mean, I don't really. 1 point in football is. I don't
it's
think
possible.
Yeah, it's possible, but I don't know.
But it shouldn't be.
I don't think it's ever happened before. But yeah, I mean, 6-goal advantage. Sterling playing their minds out today. Definitely a red-hot offense, and defenses be warned because this Sterling offense has been on fire.
And so is these kind of volleys through the defensive efforts of the Wildcats. We saw another one try to pick up there. Obviously didn't go much of anywhere, but still. Now, Allison Brown obviously scored just recently, but didn't take any, seconds off. She went right back into it. And Revatus, again, a defender that we see usually a lot of because it's a lot more back and forth. Bit of a quieter game, gets a nice pass over to the wing. And it gets halted before Brown can do much of anything, but a throw-in for the Lady Knights.
And you can follow us on Facebook at Sterling Channel 19, where, again, we will have all the live updates of all the games, all the cool things, and all the Castle connections going around on Sterling. So make sure you guys go follow us on Facebook at Sterling TV 19.
I know we had talked about a bit of an implosion from the Wildcats side earlier in this game. As the floodgates continue to open, this is becoming New Orleans Superdome level of, the flood going through. And, Sterling's just rocked it like a hurricane as the game's gone on and on as we've reached the half-hour mark of this second half. And it's still been relentless attack from Sterling. However, they have kind of toned it down a bit as they've hit 7 goals. And they kind of let the game flow through the midfield, through the wings. Wherever the ball goes is where the game plan goes, I felt, through. And clearly the ball wants to get in the net again for Sterling as it keeps flying towards that direction. And a bit of pressure there. A nice slide by Allison Brown, going from one side to the other. And then Baker deflects off the neon cleats. We'll be back in Pinelands' possession as we draw closer and closer to the end of this one.
Taylor Baker in our TV1 class, me and Mr. K are in. She's definitely a personality, to say the least, in that class. But she's definitely she always has a fun time in there, which is fun. Yeah, and again, those bright green spikes, neon green. A little bit of Kelly Green action, speaking of those Eagles.
Everything looks better in Kelly Green.
Oh my gosh, yes. That Saquon, that backward Saquon jump looked better in Kelly Green. I'll tell you that
If
much.
we were in our normal outfits, we would have said this play's terrible. We would have said, "What is this?" Yeah, well, that doesn't count. That's fake Kelly Green.
Yeah, the West effort Kelly Green. Blah. Just Cage.
Got a different name and then Green. That's Colton Green.
Ugh.
And you see number 12 on the wing. That's Byrne again. It's had a pretty good impact on this game. Tries to get it in the middle and does. Allison Brown looking for 2. Can't quite get it. As a nice scoop save. Halts the momentum. You see here, take a look at the effort from Byrne to get it in there. Bounces off. Brown thinks he definitely has it. The keeper with a deny. And that's the freshman once again, Kyrie Baggett. Doing pretty solid regardless of how many goals have gone in. The shots that haven't gone in have been pretty good stops. As they keep moving along here. Pineland Wildcats go down the line. A long pass doesn't get much of anything. And then Rivadis tries to clear it out to a teammate, does. And the pass goes down the wing once again to Allison Brown. Across. Lands in the hands of the Wildcats. And the ball keeps going back and forth. To kind of take a breather from the constant play-by-play here, I want to know, do you think that Sterling can carry this type of momentum and aggression into their next opponent, considering if it's the next 2 teams we've got going on, either one of them, or every round you get a step above an opponent? Do you think they can keep bringing it like this, or will they end up getting shut down and not have much scoring going on?
So what I've told a lot of the girls a lot of the times when I'm talking to them, just about the team and just about, the players and the skill all over the field, one thing I've always touched on is how Coach K I think he could coach at a collegiate level. I think Coach K could coach a solid college team at a solid Division I level. And I mean by that because of the intensity, because of no matter the team, no matter the place, he's always going to expect the same from his girls. And I think that's what really keeps these girls going. As we take a look, there is Coach K next to Miss Forcellini and teachers, and Miss Eggleston. There it is, yes. And next to Miss Forcellini and Miss Eggleston. And I mean, Max, you make a great point. Obviously, to step up every time you go. But this Sterling team is all gas, no brakes a lot of the time. And that's great credit to their amazing coaching staff with Coach K. So I think, here, speaking of Coach K, the ball dribbling towards him almost caught one of the girls on the side as well. So, Max, to answer your question, with Coach K at the coaching spot, and a lot of these girls who are veterans on this team, it's really always been all gas, no brakes, and the intensity has always been there. It was a lot of this season unlocking that intensity and finally getting the chemistry to get that going, and that's what's really served a purpose here for the Knights. So to answer your question, Max, yes, I think the girls can keep this intensity with the mix of, Coach K and their own skill. It's going to really take them to the next level.
I definitely agree with you on that. And as we get ready for post-game, Danny Leakin will leave the booth as the sad song plays on a violin as he goes down. And so do a couple of the players on the wing here. There's a fight between Byrne and a Wildcat that leads out of bounds. Yeah, it's been pretty physical throughout this second half. I feel like it's definitely stepped up. As it's once again number 8, Kate Dillinger, getting a little bit physical on that side there. I feel like she's kind of been that physical facilitator, but nonetheless, she's given them a corner kick, which is never good if you're against the Lady Knights. As the arm goes up, the ball goes in. Well, still an opportunity, nothing cleared yet. And it's in for an 8th goal for the Lady Knights. I think that's the second for Lily Byrne, the first repeat scorer of the game. As we see a nice sweep of the ball. It goes from Allison Brown, slides through right into the left foot of Lily Byrne for a second goal for her. 8-1. The padding keeps getting added on. If we take another look here, goes right over the keeper. There's a bit too many people to see where it's going. She made some nice effort, but it's a late one. And the game will end at 8-1. I believe maybe it's a 7-point mercy rule deal, as it still says we have some time to go. Our clock is not official, so it's either that. But regardless of why the game is ended, the game has ended 8-1. And we will have a post game to follow after a phenomenal performance by the Lady Knights. So stay tuned for that. We'll be back with more after a wonderful 8-goal performance from the Lady Knights.
Hey, Dad.
Hey, how was the game?
It was great. We won.
I'm sorry I missed it.
It's okay. You can check out all the highlights on Sterling TV 19's YouTube channel.
Oh wow, really? Alright, I'll check it out then.
Bye.
Dude, are you kidding? Pictures. Sean, what are you doing? Go to Redmond's office.
Oh my god, what a loser. He's so annoying.
Looking at the story, you'll know by the story the first few lines. We're talking about that paragraph again in the story.
You know what? I'm done. That's it, Teach. I quit. I'm done! You know what? I'm gonna stay in school.
After Sterling beat Pinelands 8-1 here in the first round of the Group 2 playoffs. And first, we're going to talk quickly with the keeper, Maddie Simpson. I mean, Maddie, pretty relaxed day today, not much pressure towards you. I mean, how can you talk about the defense not letting anything by today?
You know, my defense is very strong, and, you know, during practice, like, we work on the weaknesses that make them stronger, and I just play with so much confidence knowing that, you know, I don't really have to do much back there.
And I mean, I heard in the huddle out at the Eagles game yesterday, coming in here and having a great performance. I mean, how does it feel to get this first round matchup, a big win against Pinelands?
You know, it feels really good knowing that we make it to the second round. But you know what? 5 more games actually, and 5 more wins.
And I mean, we got a tough second round. I mean, either Seneca or Overbrook, that game starting probably around right now. I mean, moving forward, how are you guys going to approach those games as it gets tougher?
I think, honestly, we might, you know, just like watch film and definitely look at how they play and, you know, just kind of adjust to that style.
I appreciate you coming on, Maddie. You can get to go. Next, I'm going to have Adriana, a.k.a. Silly, here on the broadcast. And, I mean, Adriana, a great game from you today. Passing was on point. Speed was there. And, I mean, you got a goal for yourself. How does it feel to have such a great game today?
It feels really good. I feel like, yeah, their passing was there, and everybody was getting open pretty well, so it all just clicked.
And, I mean, from where I stand, probably one of your best games of the season. You looked like you were on fire today. And, I mean, having such a great game and a big game in the playoffs, how does that feel for you?
It feels really good because, you know, it takes a lot of hard work and the mentality to go out and win and play good.
And, I mean, maybe not a lot of fixing. I mean, putting 8 goals on the board is a pretty good job. But if there is anything, what are some things you guys are looking to improve on? I mean, going into round 2, either against Seneca or Overbrook.
Hopefully we could play how we played today and have more intensity and just keep up the hard work for the next game.
I appreciate you coming on, Adriana. I appreciate it. Next, who we call the flex player, Fallon Shinseki. I mean, you play the midfield and the defense. You were on both sides today, and you got yourself a goal off of a corner kick. How does it feel to have such a great game today?
It was pretty good. It was my second ever varsity goal, so that was pretty good. Also, the second one off a corner, so that was good. Going back and forth can be difficult at times, but I like it. I like the diversity.
Yeah, and I was just about to mention that. You assumed a new role in that defensive line this year, and I mean, playing both there and in the midfield has definitely probably been a challenge for you. How has it been adjusting, to doing both of those roles?
It was hard a little at the beginning going back and forth, but now I think I'm pretty used to it. I like helping out both sides, giving the defenders a break because they rarely get any. So.
And I mean, knowing from FIFA, I know when you move people around and the chemistry kind of goes all over the place, that's kind of how it works. But your guys' chemistry throughout the season has gotten so much better from game one to now. And how does it feel to watch that happen as a senior in that defensive line or in the midfield?
It feels really good knowing that even after I leave that the chemistry will still be there and it won't be really hard to adjust. I think it definitely started in summer league when I was playing defense, and it's just grown since there.
I appreciate you coming on, Fallon. Thank you for coming on. And last but certainly not least, both of the sophomores, the Chick-fil-A player of the game, Lily Byrne and Taylor Baker. I mean, first, Lily, you had 2 goals in this game, 2 of the only goals you've had this season. Has 5 assists, but definitely getting some goals for yourself. How does it feel to have such a great game just as a sophomore?
It feels really good. It helps my confidence a lot, knowing that I'm able to do that. And yeah, I think it just makes me happy.
And I mean, Taylor, you talked to us in our TV1 class, said you were going to do it, and you did it. And how does that feel for you?
I'm just glad. I had a rocky season, from coming off a concussion, and I got a goal, and I did it with my best friend. So I'm happy that we both did it.
That makes me really happy to hear it. And I mean, from a younger standpoint, you guys are approaching your first varsity minutes this year, and the chemistry from, as I mentioned to Fallon, from game one to now has been tremendous. How does it look from a younger standpoint to have some of these veterans help you guys out?
It feels really good. In the beginning, it was very rocky, with all the injuries and a lot of younger players stepping up. But I feel we've connected a lot, and it's just gotten so much better. And it's really happy to see that because we're all connecting as a team.
Yeah, I agree. And their positivity just helps us go into the right places and not be afraid to mess up. So they're a lot of help.
So, I mean, you two play the more of attacker role, offensive midfield role, and I mean, the big production game from the offense today, something we haven't seen from you guys this year. Well, how does that set the tone for the rest of the playoffs as you guys move on?
I think it will set the tone as very lifting. I don't know. We'll just be confident going through, knowing that a lot of people scored today. It wasn't just one person. So I feel we all found each other and gave each other the confidence to do stuff.
Yeah, our finishing hasn't been too well this season, so we had a lot of great shots this game. So if we shoot like this in our next game, I think we'll do pretty good.
I appreciate you guys coming on. Congrats on Chick-fil-A player of the game. And Taylor, I appreciate you coming.
And we both had a rough day, so this made us laugh.
I'm happy. Last but certainly not least, we're going to have Coach K here on the broadcast. Coach K, 8-1 win over Pinelands. Definitely a good opponent to start off this playoff run for you guys. And as you mentioned, 6 slots on that football. You guys have 5 more left. How does it feel to get a good first round win?
Yeah, it feels great. It was good. It was good in many ways. We had a chance to play everybody. We had very spread out scoring. I think the big thing we talked about going into this playoff stretch was A, being healthy, and B, just developing confidence among outside the players who weren't here last year. I mean, we, with Elise, Cammie, Maddie, Tony, Monty, those players, they went through it last year. They went through the gamut and they understand, but we have so many new faces that are playing full-time minutes on the varsity level and kids coming off the bench for the first time at the varsity level. So the goal was to get them up to this speed and hopefully developing that confidence to be able to compete.
And I mentioned it to some of the girls, but a coaching perspective, and we mentioned it many, many times, and I'm sure you've heard this all over the place. But again, the chemistry from game one to now has been such a dramatic increase. And from a coaching perspective, how has seeing the chemistry and the confidence build has been so much better for the Lady Knights?
Oh, it's been great. It's and I agree with you 100%. It's been a timely thing. It's been something we weren't used to the last few years. Just battling some injuries, getting kids on the field at the same time, getting them to play together, and even tonight, just trusting and moving the ball well, using each other. You look at our goal and assist stats for tonight. It was great. I mean, we had probably 8-9 players involved in the 8 goals. Maybe even more. So that was awesome.
Yeah, 7 different goal scorers. Lily Byrne, the only one who's a little selfish, taking 2. And I mean, speaking of Lily and some of these younger players getting themselves on the board, I mean, Taylor Baker and Allison Brown alike, how does it feel to, get their feet wet in the playoffs and give them a couple goals in this game to really, set the tone for how their careers may end up as well as, the years progress on?
Yeah, I think it's great. I mean, I think, we traditionally play a deep bench, and we've been trying to build that and play more kids and get more confidence in there. I think it's great for them to have that success. And it just shows. I mean, I think, we don't, we don't ever want to look at slowing down. We want to kind of keep what we built and always stay there and be in the mix and be a competitive program and somebody that, South Jersey soccer respects. And, with these young guys coming up, with having that success with some freshmen, Nora scoring today, and the sophomores, that's great. It's great for the future, and it's bright,
And I mean, looking forward, I think Thursday you guys are either going to play Seneca or Overbrook here at home. And I mean, not much to improve on, but if there's one thing you can nitpick, what are some things you guys want to keep doing going forward or something to improve on from this game?
I just think we've talked a lot about just being disciplined defensively. Like, we have great defenders back there. Just being smart. If they can lock it down and let our offense, go at it, that's a great thing. And if we, having Maddie back there, having Elise, Cammie, Fallon, Molly as a freshman, Brooke as a sophomore. I mean, they've done a great job all year. They've been reliable, but just keeping that consistency with them and then just pressing. Seneca's had our number here plenty of times, so we're hoping that it's our turn.
I appreciate you coming on the broadcast today, Coach K. And that'll do it here on the broadcast. I'm Daniel Leakin saying so long after Sterling gets an 8-1 win over the Pinelands Wildcats. Thank you all for tuning in. Thank you to Mr. K and the Truck. And as always, go Knights.